About a year ago, I made a video called What is Chekhov's Gun, where I explained about the great, wonderful trope of Chekhov's gun, and it actually did pretty well with responses and with views, and then I did nothing to cash in on that success. So here is another trope explainer video. The first of many over the next 30 years, hopefully. Whether it's the one ring to rule them all, or a purple crystal, or a rug that really ties the room together, plenty of stories use a plot device known as a MacGuffin to drive the journey forward. Now, if you just clicked on this video because you're trying to figure out something for your film studies essay, or you're trying to impress a girl or a boy with your knowledge of storytelling jargon, then the simple answer is this. A MacGuffin is an object of desire in which the film / television show / video game / whatever is built around. Usually the characters are searching for it, protecting it, or delivering it somewhere. There you go. You can turn the video off now. Or you can keep watching. The term itself was coined by Alfred Hitchcock with this weird joke about Scottish lions, which I guess is why it's called a MacGuffin. It doesn't really matter. It's the thing in the story that acts as a reason to get the characters moving and the story in motion. It's the central motivation. It's whatever comes after Harry Potter and the. More often than not, the MacGuffin is some kind of fictional item or artifact, perhaps capable of immense power that cannot be in the hands of the villain. It's the Ark of the Covenant, or the Philosopher's Stone, or R2-D2 in the original Star Wars. Occasionally the MacGuffin is actually a person who either needs protection, delivery, containment, or all of the above. This is Private Ryan, or Ali from The Last of Us, or R2-D2 again from the original Star Wars. Is R2-D2 an object or a person? MacGuffins can even be locations, the Great Valley, the Dark Tower, El Dorado, or R2-D2. No, sorry, it won't work there. I was trying to go 3 for 3. I thought that would be some nice kind of symmetry. Is it still symmetry if it goes 3 ways? Now, MacGuffins are often by design interchangeable. Sure, their purpose to the story can be baked in so well that you couldn't imagine anything else taking its place, but Thanos could have just as easily been looking for the 6 infinity feathers to stick in his infinity cap, and the results would have mostly been the same. See, despite often featuring in the title, the actual MacGuffin itself is often pretty inconsequential. It's more the way it affects the story and motivates the characters that matters. The most pure example of an inconsequential MacGuffin would be something like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. You never see inside it and you don't really need to. You just need to know that it's important and everyone wants it. Another example would be the rabbit's foot in Mission Impossible 3, a vaguely bionuclear something or other which matters so little to the plot that the characters even joke about it on screen at the end.
Hey, one thing. Rabbit's foot. What is it?
Promise me you'll stay, I'll tell you.
Send you a postcard.
Fair enough.
There are rare cases of stories where the MacGuffin wouldn't work if you just swapped out the nouns, especially if it's like the answer to the central problem in the story, as opposed to just a way to gain more power or immortality or take over the world. Cures for diseases in pandemic movies could probably count here, and Key from Children of Men is a great example, being the first pregnant woman in nearly 2 decades. You couldn't exactly exchange her for a magical diamond that can re-fertilize humans, or a determined dog that can sniff out where all the babies are hiding. Well, maybe you could, but I don't think it would be as effective of a story. Maybe you disagree. Now, none of this is to say that the MacGuffin is a bad or overused cliche. Some of the greatest stories ever told feature MacGuffins. Sure, in some cases the characters may as well just be looking for the ancient plot device, or trying to escort the esteemed Lord Important across the country, or preventing the villain from getting his hands on unobtainium, but well, that's a real one. Unobtainium's an actual MacGuffin used in an actual film. Anyway, the key to a good MacGuffin is that you forget that it's hollow, or that a rosebud by any other name would smell just as sweet, because the stories and the characters built around it are so great. Thanks for watching another episode of Cult Popture doing tropes. That's what it's called now. Cult Popture doing tropes. I'm retroactively changing the name of the Chekhov's Gun video and calling this is what it is now. Please like and subscribe, and check out my podcast. That's a cool thing to do. I'll put a link to it over here.